Okay. So today's conversation is very sensitive but also interesting because we'll be talking about how we as widows, how we deal with sexual urges and desires. Isn't that what we're talking about?
I don't want to be caught talking about this kind of topic.
We are talking about it. So there's no escaping it. I mean, it's part of our reality as widows. We just need to talk about these things. And
This is just widows. It's basically a part of life as adults and as people who have experienced. You've been in a marriage before, so you've experienced it. I mean, you were having a sexual relationship with your spouse.
that's why, as a widow, how are you dealing with it in the absence of your husband?
Yes. I mean, the desires are still there. We have to be very frank and honest about it.
Absolutely.
The desires are still there. But how do we deal with these desires when they are there? Because for some, it could be easy to just go grab a man or grab a woman and have your sex, which is what people do these days. But then for me as a Christian, it's different because I can't just go meet anybody to say, oh, I want to have sex with you. So how am I dealing with this sexual desires that I have? Yes, that I have. Blood is still running in my body. So how am I dealing with it? That's something that is worth talking about. And I hope that it would help someone listening today.
Okay, so
So there are different ways, basically, of dealing with it. And the thing is, we learn along the way. I have been widowed for 4+ years. It's good. Oh, okay, for 5 years, because this August is 5 years since I've been widowed. So yeah. And for you, it's 6 years since you've been a widow for me.
yeah.
What's it been like? The funny thing is that, to be quite honest, I mean, I could think about it, and the past 3-4 years, I didn't really have that desire. Now, I wouldn't say that it's died off. No, it probably was there, but somehow it was submerged. I don't know if that's the word. It was just buried deep, But the past 1 year have had 1.5 years, I've had the desires come up. So yes, there have been different ways of dealing with it. So I've had the past where it just didn't come up in me. I just didn't it felt like it had died, but it hadn't, But somehow it just wasn't there. I didn't have the desire to go into any relationship or to kiss anyone or to want to even have sex. I didn't have that desire. But so I'd say that it's come up in the past 1.5 years, and maybe it had to do with me beginning to think, or my friends telling me that, okay, Afi, it's time for you to start dating or something. Then after that, I probably now realize that, oh, okay, I'm actually a woman. That's, and yes, I'm not saying that men have approached me even before now, but it just wasn't, I just didn't have that desire, but now I do.
So are you saying that you are more inclined towards having a relationship because you have sexual urges?
No, that's not what I'm saying. It probably is the other way around. Maybe because, oh no, it's not the other way around. I think it's
okay. I wanted to be sure I heard right.
No, I think maybe because I'm actually beginning to be conscious that, okay, I might be dating, I might start dating, or something like that, or I could actually have, a relationship with a man, not a sexual one. So maybe that has probably resurrected the desires in me as well. I don't know if you understand what I mean. So
I'll take it, but I'm not completely.
Yeah, I think so. I don't know how to explain it.
Completely sold out to what you're saying.
Yeah, but the thing is, I don't even have as much interesting um, sexual desires and urges story as you have. But so let me just quickly share mine. Sorry, let me just quickly share mine and get it out of the way, because the more interesting one, drum rolls, is going to be coming from you. Okay, but basically,
I'm not sure.
I just talked about the fact that it's just within recent times, like in a year and a half, that I started having that. And how I dealt with it was one, I just like blank off was one of the methods. Blank out of it totally. Tried. Then secondly, just praying and praying seriously. I mean, like praying God, because I already told myself that if I'm ever going to get involved with someone sexually, then it has to be that I will get married, because I do not want to have sex outside of marriage. So that is something that I said to myself, and then I said it to God, and I told God to help me that and it's something that I'm also teaching my children. And this is because this is who I am. This is what I believe that God wants me to do. God wants us as Christians to do. So, I mean, I'm not using this to condemn anyone. People have their different methods, but I choose this. And I told my kids, and I remember one of my kids telling me that, but you've experienced it, you were married before, so there's nothing wrong if you have a man now, you're actually like in a sexual relationship with a man. Yes. So I was like, it might seem that way, but there is no excuse for it. If you're not in a marriage with a man, then having a sexual relationship with that man is not going to be appropriate or proper, okay? Because sex and marriage go together. So yes, I was married before, but if I'm going to have, for me personally, if I'm going to have any sexual relationship with another man, then it's got to be in the institute of marriage. So I had to explain that it applies to me as much as it applies to them. And I have to try and live by that example for them as well. So yes, yes, I have sexual desires. No, they're not being satisfied. Yes, I get the urges, and I pray about them, and I just I don't make them my central focus. I try to get it out of my mind. And
what do you do to get it out of your mind, though?
I read books. Not like, I love reading, so that's one of my escape routes, I think, so I basically look for what would help me escape that reality of this thing. For men, I hear you have to have cold showers or something, and for some women to cold shower help, but I don't think mine is that high to get to that stage where I might need to go get a cold shower. I probably haven't reached that stage. And then I think I'm also trying to work on my mindset towards it. So it's something that I don't put in my something I don't put my focus on, So it's like a secondary thing. I keep myself busy a lot with a lot of things. People actually wonder, Afi, how are you able to cope with all of these things I do? I think that's also helped me. The fact that I'm juggling so many things at the same time. And by the time I'm back home or I'm exhausted. So I don't have time to be thinking about
the sheer weight of it.
Yeah, I don't have time to think about anything. I'm thinking about my finances. I'm thinking about the work I need to do. I work 12-hour shifts for the 8 hours a week. I'm exhausted. I'm trying to fill in my daytime with sleep. I work with the elderly with dementia, so it's just a lot of mental and physical work, So you're too tired to think about any of these things, and
you're too tired to think about a man's touch. Oh, it feels.
No, seriously, you're too tired to think about that. It's a different thing when you're having it. It's happening to you, like you're touching it. Then you get into that mood. But when it's just that's just you're trying to think about, oh, what a man's touch is like and all that. I'm too tired to think about it. I'm trying to get money. Seriously, I can't be processing that. And so I think that has made it to deaden that desire just a bit, just a bit. And I'm not rude, and I wouldn't say that the urges have died. It's just, I don't know. I just hope that I still have them. I mean, it's a healthy thing. It's good. It's okay, but it's just not in the forefront of things for me. So I really basically keep myself too busy to think about that. And that's me. And remember, I have a teenager and preteen. So at that age, they're just so much so much.
That's true.
They're at your face. They want to talk to you. They want to do things. You're trying to live an exemplary life for them. So you don't have any secret. They're asking you, "Mommy, what are you doing? Mommy, where are you? Why are you?" You know, and you're like, okay, you really don't have a life of your own,
That's
basically. So yeah. But I mean, I think if I remember some things, I might be able to share with you about it. But honest, I haven't been that much tempted sexually, you know.
What do you mean by tempted?
When I say like as in tempted to say, oh, I'm in the mood, I'm in the mood to have sex, or I'm in the mood to be
Now,
with a man.
you are now making me feel like
No. I'm just saying me.
I'm so unusual. Like
No, I feel like I'm the
feelings.
unusual one, and I begin to feel there's something wrong with me. But anyway, let's hear your end first before we come to that, because I need to find out, am I okay?
Who is going to let you know whether you're okay or not? Like there's a barometer for measuring all these things. But sexual desires, I have been made to see that these things are natural. They are natural order of life as a woman or as a man, especially if you've been involved in a sexual relationship before, you've been loved properly, you start wondering when you are not having that anymore. I remember that in my own case, I think I said when my husband died, it was the first few months. It wasn't the front burner at all. It wasn't something I would think about because, of course, he just
You're
died.
learning, yeah.
I was processing all that, but I think some months after, down the line, something just happened to my body, and I felt, you know, I felt all those funny feelings, like feel like, oh.
Okay, can I ask something? Did you like? Okay, I remember I was gonna ask, did you like have a good sexual relationship up until the point before he died or something?
No. So the year he died, so let's say he died in 2019, not let's say he died in 2019, but I always say to friends that I can remember the last moment we had any sexual anything, and this was at the beginning of the year. I think it was like into the second day of the new year, and I always joke to my friends that if I knew that was the last time I was going to have anything like that, I would probably have prolonged it some more and filed it away in the core of my memory so that I could always bring it out and just reminisce and all that. But of course, there's no way you can tell the future. So, and then after he was sick and he was operated on, that could not happen. The need for that was taken out of the way. First of all, he wasn't even able to. He was just recuperating, and he had this major surgery that I think that part of his body was not functioning properly or would not have functioned. And then I was too tired just looking after him.
Yeah.
So sex wasn't it. Besides, you just assume that something like that would happen eventually, and you take it for granted that it will happen. And so he eventually died towards the end of the year. But I didn't feel any sexual urges until much later. And then when it happened, it was shocking because I was like, no, that can't be right. I mean, you're dealing with death, and then your body's telling you something else. So I now said to God, I said I needed him to take this feeling away because I know I love sex. I needed him to take it away. I don't want to be feeling this funny way again. And then for several months I wasn't feeling anything, which was good because it was quite okay by me. But sometimes it would just come and go. It would just come and go. But I would say that my real battle with this sexual urges or desires wasn't until last year. The real battle, in the sense that up until then, what I would do is I would avoid anything that could trigger or that could make me want to have or think about things like that. I would avoid it. For instance, movies. Even if I'm watching a movie where there are people that are kissing, I'll just move it forward. I wasn't going to dwell on that scene. So that was how I was escaping it. Even with books, I could just maybe avoid that part and then move on to the next one. But by sometime last year, I think it was close to the 5th anniversary, it was really a battle. And I don't know whether it has to do with age, because at this time I had come into my 40th year. I'm not excusing anything, but maybe it has to do with the fact that the older you are, like some people say, they say the higher the sense of libido or something. So
did I miss the memo?
You missed the memo because I don't know. In this my 41st year. Oh goodness, I don't know. It's been really a struggle. So, and then I remember it was September, and I couldn't. All the things I used to, there are ways you could. You mentioned distracting yourself. I would do all those things, even exercise as well, but nothing wasn't working. And so one day, I don't know, I think it was on the street of...
What kind of exercise were you doing?
Exercise. My usual exercise, like jump rope, skipping rope.
You know what I'm asking? Because I wonder why you ever thought that exercise would help to...
It will help you.
Is there something, a research that says that exercise would help reduce the sexual urge or libido?
I think it's more like distracting you. It gives you something else to focus on. Okay. I don't know about the...
Maybe you did not do the right exercise to distract you.
You mean skipping rope is not intense enough on your body? Okay. Or maybe I needed to jog for 20,000.
I don't know.
Anyway.
It's just question I'm asking you.
Also, I remember there's this widow, she
on social
Joanne
media?
rather, yes, on Instagram. I think she used to recommend exercise as well, because let's not shy away from this. Sexual desire is natural.
Yeah, it's a natural thing.
So I think it was around September. I was on this app on X, and something pornographic just flashed in front of me. I was like, no, I'm not going to watch. And that wasn't the first time. I would usually ignore it. I don't know, I just went down the rabbit hole, and that was it was, I wouldn't say that was the first time I'm seeing anything pornographic, but that was the time when I was like, oh my god. But after I watched it,
was it like a movie or like
it was a movie? It was like a clip.
A clip.
Yeah, man and woman.
Wait, okay, Afi, zip it.
Okay.
Let me not show my naive.
So anyway, and I saw that, and I was like, oh, okay. At that moment, it felt as if, of course, your body would respond.
Oh,
but at the moment, it felt as if, there was a satisfaction of sorts. But I was like, no, this isn't right.
Did you think this isn't right as at that first time
or
something? Oh, okay.
I thought it, but I was like, at this point, I don't care. I just needed something to help me process.
Give you a release as well.
Something like that. And so, it was afterwards you deal with the guilt part of it, and the fact that I felt dirty, and the fact that I think there's something about what we're talking about here, that you might not be in the clip itself, but it feels as if you are participating and looking in on two people doing the do. But what even makes it more more wearing on the soul, so to speak, is the fact that whatever it is they are doing, I wouldn't use the word dirty, but there's a way that these men, they handle the women, or the women submit. It felt very
derogatory,
oppressive. It felt very as if the women are being made to
object. They were objectified.
It's beyond being objectified now. It's more as if it's kind of like a punishment. They're acting a role. They are not. It just felt, you're not. You just feel that this is wrong, of course. But it didn't stop me from going again the second time. And I noticed that this would happen. Like whatever my feelings, it was always around the time when I'm supposedly ovulating. So And then
oh yeah, that's
the
another
second
key
time, yeah.
point.
So the second time it happened, I was like, I'm feeling, I couldn't get my mind off. I couldn't process any other thing. I was just like, oh God, this is not good. So I went again. I went down the rabbit hole again, and I came back again for air, and I didn't feel good with myself. So it got to the point where I started noticing that this was something I was doing to deal with how I was feeling. And then I felt that I needed to talk to someone, because there's something about what the things we do in the dark places, or we do when we feel that people are not
seeing us or something.
It's hidden.
Mm-hmm.
So you are not under any obligation at all to be at your best, or to be of your best behavior. But I think the moment you talk to someone about your struggles, or whatever it is that is bothering you, or whatever it is you're involved with, you sort of demystify the feeling. You sort of take away from it
the power it has
the
over
power
you,
it has over you. Thank you.
Before you get
And so-
onto that, can I just ask a question about did you like notice a pattern in the wanting to watch to go down the rabbit hole?
Yeah, it was always around my ovulation.
Okay, that's the thing, which is something that a lot of us women need to observe, because it's especially when you begin to do certain things and you realize that it doesn't happen every time, but there are moments. If you can notice a pattern of when is it, what time does that, do you feel like doing that thing? And it might not be, a pun or something. It could be another kind of thing, because these things with time they build up and become a habit.
Some people will just seek out the men and say, please just do me.
Do you get?
So
exactly.
I had to tell one of my friends
when it's going to happen.
That was the same advice she gave me as well. So I had to tell one of my friends who is a widow, Ademidoyin. I just told her, I said, sis, I'm struggling. I'm struggling at this point. This is what's going on in my life. Help me. And so she prayed with me. She encouraged me. She sent me scriptures. And even before she sent me scriptures, there was at that point when I was talking to her, I didn't want to be doing this thing that was so degrading on the soul, on the body.
I think it's just you feeling that way, not necessarily.
Feeling that way. At the moment, I'm not feeling it.
Yeah.
But afterwards, it's not really I didn't really feel guilty, but I felt like soiled, like you can be better than this. And then when I spoke to her about it, or shortly before I spoke to her about it, there was a scripture, I think in 2 Corinthians, that came up where it says that bringing into captivity everything to the obedience of Christ, every thought to the obedience of Christ. So I'll quote that, and then that was what gave me the encouragement to even share it with her. So she also prayed along and sent me other scriptures, and then that was how at that time the whatever, the desire for wanting to do it, and this wasn't even every day. This was like once in a month kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
But I knew that I had to stop, because there's a way that women are portrayed in these videos that they are not even encouraging. And even for yourself, you might feel as if you're not part of it, but it's like third party involvement kind of.
Yeah.
And then of course there's nothing about porn that is dignifying, or that glorifies or edifies the body or the soul. And that was how that was how I dealt with that. But honestly, if anyone comes to me and say they are struggling with this, or their sexual urges, I'm not going to judge anybody.
No way.
Because it's easier for me to judge if I'm not walking in the shoes of someone that is like me. I mean, and this is not about playing to the emotions. You have had sex for quite a number of years.
Thank you. You just took the words. I was waiting for you to finish so I could talk.
You can have sex anytime you want, or you could have sex anytime you want. You could just call your husband. Even in my own case, my husband was working in Lagos. I was working in Ogun State. So, but we knew that whenever we were coming together, sex was going to be part of it. But those things you took for granted, then all of a sudden they just become like things that you are now
They're
doing
not
without.
at your reach anymore.
You are doing without, not because you do not want to, but
because it was taken abruptly out of your life.
And then you don't want to be maybe sleeping around, having sex with other men, and all that. So you just resort to self-help. so to speak.
And the fact
Some
is
people
that
even
people
use
have different things,
sex
sex
toys.
toys, exactly.
Yes.
Which I know some people say there's nothing wrong with it, and honestly, I do not know. I cannot tell you whether it's right or wrong. I can't even tell you the right or wrong way to deal with your sexual
The
urges
purpose
or
of this
sexual
video
desires.
is not
You know,
even to of this recording in particular, this episode is not even to say I am judging anybody or to say that if I didn't take part in this, or if I didn't explore porn, I would be in a position to judge. I would never, because like I said, it's easier to cast aspersions or judge people and say, no, you could have handled it better. Even as a pastor, you could have handled it better. We're not even talking about these things in
when
church.
you even go, thank you.
We're not talking
when
about
you go
these things
to
in
church
Christian that even
to talk
widows are
about
not
it,
given.
come
They are
on.
not even given a voice. Nobody's asking you, how are you dealing with your finances? How are you dealing with the sexual life part of you? We are shrouding all these things in mystery.
Babe, I could just listen to you go on, and I'm not going to say anything because you're just saying my thoughts. Go on, girl.
We are shrouding it in mystery because
in mystery. No, we're shrouding it in religion.
We're covering
it up with Christianity.
It does not exist.
It is well.
It is well. Yeah, it is well. It is well, and you know that you need
it's
a hug
not
at
well.
the end of the working day.
Do you get what I mean?
You're not getting it.
And the fact is that there are also moments where you actually need a genuine hug. A hug, and then or someone to just, I mean, we're not talking about sexual, just a hug, and then the person that happens to want to give you that hug, that feeling, begins to probe further.
And then there's no hug in Freetown.
No, that's the thing.
No free meal in Freetown. No hug.
Seriously, because there are times where I actually need, and if you say me needing that hug is a sexual feeling or something, okay, but the fact is that I don't want a sex, but I just feel I want to feel that hug, that someone to just hold me. That's all. And it's hard. Because when you now see a man that actually, or they'll say a woman, how many women will come and meet you and say they want to hug you? It's men that will usually want to do that. But then the thing is, the man is hugging you.
I hugged you this morning. What do you mean?
And the man wants another this thing. Wait, now. You understand what you mean? I know you hugs me, but you know what I mean. So the man is hugging you and you're feeling safe in the strong arms, or in quote, strong arms around you. And then suddenly you start not feeling safe again because it's beginning to turn. The hug is extending a handshake beyond the elbow. Yeah. Do you get? Yeah. And you're like, no, this is not what you want.
No, it's not. It's not really. So, well, it's a very difficult place to be, and we say, how are we dealing with it? That's how we are dealing with it now. We know that there are right ways and there are wrong ways to deal with it, but I'm also saying that even with the right ways, such as exercise, reading is one of the ways I also distract myself.
Praying.
But let me tell you, there are times when your mind is not processing anything else.
Have friends. Call your friend at that point. That friend that will not judge you, that will talk you and continue on the phone 30 minutes after with you, talking you until the person talks you out of it.
Yes.
That friend that will make you laugh, that you will crack a joke even with the sexual desires that's going on or urges that's going on inside of you. You are cracking joke with it, laughing about it. Honestly, I know there'll be times it works, there'll be times it doesn't work. But the thing is, try everything you can to work, because I'm not going to advise you to go and have sex. I won't, because I feel it's not the right solution to this, because you're not married to this man. Do you get? Or this woman.
I also feel
this woman, because
I also feel that this is one of the things that inspire maybe widows to want to remarry, because the married bed should be undefiled.
Or the widowers.
Or the widowers as well.
Oh, because they're so sorry. I just know a lot of widowers that are so quick to marry.
Yes,
and that could be the struggle.
They are not as quick to marry because there are a lot of factors you throw into it, or you wait before you say you want to.
Yeah.
And then in the search for maybe wanting to remarry as well, you could get disappointed, or you could get you could have underwhelming experiences, and so you're like, please, I don't think I want to try this thing, and that's as well. That is also good as well. But being a widow is not easy. No matter how you look at it, it is not easy.
Not. It's just moving from having the full experience to being cut short of all of the experiences, not even half, like almost all of the experiences, then with extra baggage. Then I don't want to call it they're not baggage as such, but extra things to deal with, you know, and you're trying to navigate yourself around those things,
And you're trying to
trying
find
to
your joy.
learn, trying to find your joy again. And then sometimes you make mistakes, which we understand. Nobody should judge you. Now, we're in a world where you're well judged. We know that. Oh, I have received my share of it, you know.
Cancel
But the thing
culture.
is, do not let that throw you off. Do not let that put you down, push you into the depression. Because we know people who have gone in the bid to try to handle all of this, whether it's a financial challenge or the sexual desires and urges, you know, or the loneliness or the depression. It's pushed you into further depression, or pushed you into the wrong arms, or pushed you into the wrong relationship, or pushed you into addictions that you're now trying to battle with.
Yes.
And there are ways in which you can get help, okay? There are places you can get help. And you can even reach out to us, and we'll be able to help you source for places and the right people to get help if you think you need help in any way. But just know that you are not judged by us, and do not allow anyone to judge you. Or even if they do, please do not let it get to you, because your mental health is very important. And that's the number one key. Mental health for yourself, for your kids, if you have children. And then the only person that you have anything to explain to is God. The only person you have anything to explain to is God. So please, okay, do not just allow yourself to go down the wrong way, thinking that you do not have anybody with you. You do.
Yes.
There are people that are ready to render helping hands. There are still good people around you, okay? So that's the purpose of this video, or the purpose of this podcast. We're sharing our experiences as widows with you, so that you know you're not alone.
No,
You're not alone. You're not experiencing it alone. I haven't had sex in a while, my darling. Now I'm beginning to feel the desires, and I'm not going to do anything about it, you know. But we'll keep having the cold water showers. We'll keep doing the book reading. We'll keep the prayer going on, because our God never disappoints.
Yeah,
Never.
yeah.
And we'll keep keeping ourselves company.
Yes,
God
and we
settles
keep being accountable.
Yeah.
Because I think you would know that from what I've shared, that accountability is key. Whatever it is you do not talk about, that is what becomes
a
like
big issue.
cancerous in your mind or in your daily habits. And we don't want that. We want to have or live lives that are overall genuinely wholesome, not the ones that we are even ashamed of ourselves in the dark.
Yeah.
And then that is not to say there's anything shameful about having sexual urges.
No.
No.
It's natural. Well, on that note, we really don't have so much to talk about this. But if you do feel, if we actually come up with some more things about this to talk about, we'll share with you. I know one of the things we also want to talk about is addiction to things, what widows get addicted to, and how you can go about it. Because we heard about widows who had to deal with drug addiction because what they went through as widows pushed them into it. We've had people who are into sexual addiction. We've had people who are so depressed, and it's making them do things that they wouldn't ordinarily do, and it's become addictions. And we're hoping that we'll get someone to come and help, you know, a counselor or someone who's into this to be able to talk with us. But that's going to be on our next season of Unfiltered Convo. But for now, whatever it is you have to share with us, please go ahead and share with us. Like, subscribe, comment, okay? Please, we need all of it. And we're saying thank you. Thank you for doing this with us.
Thank you very much.
Afi.
For me, always.
Cheers. Bye.
Bye.